Good morning and welcome to Leadership Tip Tuesday with Coach Ellis. This is the day I spend just a few minutes with leaders, emerging, existing, and exiting leaders, and talk about the principles that will help us lead those around us into a better life. Hey, it doesn't matter whether or not you are the CEO of a major Fortune 500 corporation or a small church, whether it's just your family or whether it's a military organization. Leadership principles are pretty much the same. So we've been going through John Maxwell's 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And today's law I want to talk about is the law of respect. Now, when we talk about respect, and one of the chromonisms that I've developed over the years is that people follow commanders out of regulations, leaders out of respect. And the idea is that if people respect you, they will not just follow you, they will help you move your mission, your vision along. And I agree with John Maxwell about the law of respect, that people tend to follow folks that they can respect. Now, you can get respect all kinds of ways. You can just be so technically competent and tactically proficient, people can't help but to follow you because they know what you're doing, because they know that you know what you're doing. It could be your personality that they feel comfortable with you, that they follow you. But however you get respect, it is necessary to have it in order to lead effectively. So John Maxwell points out 6 ways to get respect. And one of them is your natural leadership ability. If you are simply gifted at leadership, people want to follow you. And there are folks who are just so charismatic and they're able to move people onto an agenda. People just naturally flock to them. They want to be associated with them. They know you're going places. They just want to follow you. And that's great to have, that you have the natural leadership abilities. Whether it's a gift, or it's a talent, or it's an ability, it just exudes from you and people want to follow you. And that's great to have that. Not everybody has that, but there are a few people who you know who just absolutely has it. But most of us don't have that. We have to take whatever leadership ability we have and combine it with a few things like respect for others. People tend to respect you as you respect them. You earn respect by giving respect. You model this idea of respect. I don't have to agree with you to respect your perspective. I honor the fact that you are a smart, intelligent individual, human being who may see things differently than I do. I can respect that. I don't have to agree. I can respect it. And giving people respect allows them room, if they are hesitant in giving you respect, to give you respect because they will reciprocate what you give them. It's almost like the law of attraction. The third way that people give respect is people respect courage. Emotional courage, spiritual courage, psychological courage, physical courage. People respect courage. That's the idea of doing what's right because it's right. Sticking to your convictions. Not when it's just comfortable, but being convicted and living with your convictions even when it's hard. People respect the fact that you may actually fail, but they'll respect the courage it took to try. And nobody really wants to follow a leader who does not, who's afraid to take chances, who's afraid to fail. Courage is not simply being strong when you know you're going to win. It's being strong because you have a task to accomplish, whether it works out the way you want it to work out or not. You've approached it with courage and strength and conviction. The next way to help gender respect is success. People like to follow folks who are successful. Successful doesn't mean you always get what you want, but you have to have a good average. In a Major League Baseball, do you realize that to be considered successful in Major League Baseball as a batter, you only have to accomplish the task 3 out of 10 times? 30%. Nowhere I've ever been if 30% was considered successful. But in Major League Baseball, they pay people tens of millions of dollars to be successful 3 out of 10 times. So you understand how to measure success based upon the task at hand. and people follow those who are successful. Part of the way to gain respect is loyalty. Loyalty to those who follow you. Leaders stand with their people. I've been in situations where there was some question about whether the people I was leading were actually correct. The loyalty was to validate their position and their thinking, and then privately correct them if they were wrong and allow them to go back and fix it. But not cutting them off at the knees publicly and not embarrassing them in their work. Loyalty means I stick by my people, and sometimes even when they're wrong, if it's not a matter of life and death, but it's a matter of a principle, standing for the principle that they believe this is right, and honoring their principles, their thinking processes, loyalty to others, and nothing engenders respect more than being loyal to those who can do nothing for you. And that's one of the lessons I think a lot of folks have to learn, is that loyalty is not them to me as a leader. Loyalty is me to them for the privilege to lead them. The last item is value added to others. How do you add value to their lives? If you want to get people to respect you, add value. What can you bring to life? Is it a different perspective? Is it a different process? Is it a different way of thinking? Is it simply just boosting them on and being a cheerleader for them? How do you add value to the people's lives in which you are trying to lead? And everybody's not the same. There's somebody I have to encourage them. Another person I have to push them. To another I have to drag them kicking and screaming. Another I just have to look at them and give them the people's eyebrow. Whatever the case is, I add value to their lives because I find out what's important to them, the goals that they want to meet, and I add value to them accomplishing their personal goals, and then they show loyalty to me and my goals. These are just 6 steps that John Maxwell talks about, and I think they're certainly remarkable. And if you put them into place, you'll find out people will respect you more, and you'll accomplish more of what you have set out to do. Hey, I'm Coach Ellis. You got questions or comments, leave them down below. Hit me up at coach@elliscrum.net. Catch me on Facebook at Coach Ellis Crum. Hey, until next week, have a one-tabulous Leadership Tip Tuesday, thinking about the law of respect. We'll see you next week. God bless you.